Hey guys, this is Jack and Mitch from BoardCo, and today we are out going to do some boat comparisons. We have our Centurion Fi23 and a Nautique GS22.
Yeah. So this Nautique GS22 is a boat that we just took on trade here recently. It's known as one of the premier crossover boats in the industry, meaning that it can ski, can wakeboard, and can wake surf well. And we have our Centurion Fi23 that typically isn't really known as a crossover. It's primarily a surf and wakeboard boat. But we wanted to see how these two boats compared and how they work side by side with skiing, wakeboarding, and surfing, and let you in on the action of what we're doing. All right, guys, we are now out here on the Nautique GS22. We're gonna jump in. Jack's gonna take a ski set and a wakeboard set, and I'm gonna jump in and take a surf set. And we're gonna demonstrate and show you what the wake is like for water skiing, wakeboarding, and surfing to show the true crossover capability of this boat, and do it and see how it compares to the Centurion Fi23.
All right, Jack is getting up and going, skiing behind the Nautique GS22. We're going to show you the ski wake of this guy and how it compares against the Fi23.
Alright guys, we are now out here on the Centurion Fi23. Jack's going to jump in and take a ski set and show you what the ski capabilities of this boat are. One thing that's kind of important to note is that with most crossover series boats, you have a hull design that is really not specialized or great for any particular thing. So it skis okay, it wakeboards okay, and it surfs okay. This guy, the Fi23 with the OptiV hull, has a hull design that is primarily geared towards surfing, but we do a few things on the back end of the boat to make it so that it will ski quite a bit better. We have our quick launch tabs on the side that are also used for surfing. That will help us jump out of the water a lot faster, which is really nice for skiing, especially if you got a big crew or you're a big guy. We also have the center silent stinger plate on this boat. So what that is that is a big plate at the back end that we can push down and deflect and push the nose of the boat down and lift the back end of the boat out of the water. So even though this boat is really big, it's really deep, and it's heavy, we can actually throw out a pretty respectable ski wake behind it by using that silent stinger plate that is available on the Centurions. So we're gonna jump in. Jack's gonna go take a set and show us what it's like.
Haven't skied behind it yet before, so I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Awesome. All right, we just got done skiing. We filled up the ballast and got that set. Now Jack is going to jump back and take a wakeboard set. Fi23. Jack here is going to jump out and take a wakeboard set. So
yeah, we just got it set for weighted for wakeboarding. We have our ram fill ballast full as well as the plug and plays.
This totals to just over 4,000 pounds of ballast. Versus the Nautique GS, when we had that filled, it was about 2,250. And the big difference that I just noticed is that we are packing twice the ballast and it filled in almost half the time. With the gram filled tanks, we have 3,000 pounds filling in just about a minute. So that made it efficient. Now we're gonna go head out and take a wakeboard set and see how the wakeboard wake is.
Awesome. So we're gonna go, we got our ballast full. Jack's gonna jump in and ride, and we'll show you what the wakeboard wake is behind the Fi23. Also, I wanna make sure that you knew that currently we're running with just 3 of us here in the boat and the stock ballast configuration from the factory in both boats. So this is kind of low weight for wakeboarding and for surfing, but it gives you an idea of the minimum that you'll come to expect out of both of the boats. So let's do it. Guys, we just got done wakeboarding. We had it set on the Wakeboard Pro setting here on the GS22. We've switched it over to Wakesurfing. You can see the settings that we're running going over here on the dash. We are running with a NSS setting of 5 over here on Surf Right. So we're kicking out the biggest wave that we can, the steepest wave on this boat. And then we've got all of the ballast filled to 100%. And there's 3 of us here in the boat. So we're running a pretty light crew with just 3 of us, but it'll give you a comparable idea of what the wake is like on this boat. Surf. We've got the same ballast configuration we were running for wakeboarding, so to switch between wakeboarding and surfing is as simple as just pressing surf left or surf right there on the dash. So we're gonna jump in and show you what the kind of surf wave this thing puts out. Alright guys, we just pulled off the water with the Nautique GS22 as well as the Fi23. I wanted to give you our thoughts and opinions on what we experienced, the wakes that we rode behind. You got to see what we rode and what we experienced, but we wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on our thoughts and opinions from getting out behind these boats and how they compared to one another. So starting off, Jack, you had a chance to wakeboard behind them both. First off, starting off with the Nautique GS22, how was the wakeboard wake on this guy?
So I had high expectations because I like riding behind the G23 so much. So I got out there and I was expecting a nice poppy, big wake, just that I'm used to behind some of these Nautique boats. And it was pretty mellow. I think the biggest thing is there's not enough weight in the boat, so the stock ballast just kept it a really good beginner wake. But in terms of when you're approaching the wake and actually trying to pop to get up in the air, it takes more effort to jump. There's not any help from the wave per se. So it's a good beginner intermediate level wave, but if you're looking at doing more spins, I did one flip, but I did have to huck it instead of really let the wake help me float it. You'll want to add more weight to the boat.
Okay, so in full disclosure, we only had 3 of us in each one of the boats, and so that gives you an idea that you can have additional people in the boats that would help out a little bit. But that is true for both the Centurion and for the Nautique. So overall recap. Good beginner wakeboard wake. When you went intermediate to advanced level, it would have been nice to have.
Yeah,
You'll probably want to add extra ballast. Okay, perfect. So, and then how comparison? What was your experience on the Fi23?
So the Fi, as soon as we had that ram fill full with the plug and plays, I mean there is a little bit more weight, just stock in the Fi, and that really helps for wakeboarding. That's where I'm able to hit the wake, and without really putting in the effort, have the time in the air to do the tricks I want to do, and it's a lot easier to do it when you have extra time in the air. So I, of course, love the Fi23 wake, but it's just definitely more poppy, bigger wake, and it's just got a nice mellow but still a shape that's going to get you up high in the air.
All right. So comparison wakeboard wake wise, you probably want to give it to the Fi23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely rather ride behind the Fi.
All right, so next one coming up, you also had a chance to ski behind both boats. So full disclosure here, Jack is a tournament caliber skier. He was taking it a little bit easy behind these guys because he was riding behind a V-drive here. Normally he rides behind a pure direct drive ski boat because that's just the caliber level that he typically skis at. But what was your opinion on the ski wake on the GS22?
So I was really hesitant to cut into it because I look over and like I said, I'm used to say a Nautique 200 wake or a complete direct drive tournament ski boat. So I look over and it seems a little bigger, but as soon as I cut through it, it's a soft wake and I can cut hard. I really enjoyed skiing behind this, and I would love to take more ski sets. Definitely more of a recreational ski wake still, but it's easy to cut through. You can be aggressive with it, and it was really fun.
Okay, so good recreational, not still to the caliber of like a tournament direct drive, but does pretty good for a V-drive.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to ski this through a course, but I would never turn down a ski set out here like I would with some of the bigger Centurions, per se. You know?
Okay. Yeah. So, in comparison, what was your experience on the Fi23? How did you like skiing behind that guy?
And the Fi was good too. It was a little more firm in the wake, but if you stay on edge, you can cut right through it. Or if you're not on edge at all, you just roll right over it too. So, in terms of a boat that has the potential to surf and wakeboard like it does, I couldn't believe how much fun it was to ski behind that Fi23.
Okay, so not too bad, better than most people would probably expect, but all in all, if we're which one would you say that you like skiing behind better?
I did enjoy the GS22 to ski better.
Okay, so a little bit better ski boat, a little bit better wakeboard boat on the Fi23.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and then I had the opportunity to jump in and surf behind both of them. Overall, the GS it kicked out a wave that was decently clean. It had a little bit of push to it. It definitely seemed like it could use a little bit more ballast. It's really kind of a tough one because where this one is a crossover boat, it throws out a pretty decent ski wake, but then you're trying to get it to turn around and dish out a really large surf wave, and that's asking a lot for it to do, especially without having anything major changing on the running surface of the boat when you slow down to surf speed. So I was able to stay on it. I was able to keep on the wave. It's going to be a good surf wave for smaller riders and for guys that are fairly experienced wake surfers, I would say. Not necessarily. It's probably a wave that's going to be a little bit tough for guys that are a bit bigger. I'd say 200 pounds and up. They're going to have a little bit of a tough time riding on this boat without adding additional ballast or something, like running an additional bag on the floor or something like that. In comparison, the Fi23, that one kind of speaks for itself. With what you saw in the wave, the surf wave was pretty phenomenal, pretty spectacular on the Fi23. So it's had a lot more length, a lot more size, a lot more push. Overall, just quite a bit better surf experience behind that guy in comparison. So does that kind of sit in line with what you were thinking and seeing from inside the boat?
That's what it looked like from inside the boat.
Okay.
Pretty wave, but you could tell that you were getting a lot more push and mass and volume out of the wave behind that Centurion.
Okay, yeah, so our kind of general consensus with running between these two boats is they're both really nice boats. They both do a great job, and if you're looking for a boat that you can ski, wakeboard, and surf behind, you can't really go wrong with either one. Our general consensus, and tell me, Jack, if you agree with this, is if your primary focus is you're primarily water skiing the majority of the time, but you want to have the ability to wakeboard and surf, then the GS22 is a fantastic boat. Definitely can't go wrong that way. Where if you're on the other side and you're going to be surfing and wakeboarding most of the time, but still want the ability to ski and to get a good recreational ski set in when you can, the Fi23 would be definitely really, really hard to beat. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's right on.
Awesome. So hopefully you were able to check and see what we were experiencing behind there with the wakes, and hopefully this was able to give you some really good insight and information. For any additional information on the boats that we carry, additional information on them, how they compare to others, as well as just all of the stuff we do on a day-to-day basis, check out BoardCo.com. And thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. We'll see you soon.